All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing? Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, YouTube. I haven't done this way in a very long time, and I'm really excited. I got my lights. Can you see? I got my lights there. Got my light over here. You can't see that one. Got my camera up. Got my little music going in the. You can hear the music in the background too. Boy, it's so exciting! What? Yes! Welcome. I appreciate you being here. I'm your guy, DeMarcus here. This is for the Better Today, Better Tomorrow podcast / simulcast / I gotta get some more casts. I keep doing the same thing. That's corny. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyways, welcome. So let's get right into it. We're gonna talk about the big game, man. The big game. Obviously, this Sunday we just had the Super Bowl. The Rams won. I won't speak on that. I mean, I don't mind the Rams because, I mean, when I watch these guys at the end of the game, I was realizing how hard they worked to get there. It's not like, they were handed everything, but it just sucks. I'm in St. Louis, and they took them away from me, right? But in all reality, the guys who were on the field doing the work, those are the guys. Like, I'm sitting here watching this guy. I'm mad at the Rams won. And then I'm watching this guy talking about he told his 5-year-old daughter he was going to be here and he might retire after this. And I'm like, man, that's a tearjerker, bro. Like you were supposed to be human. Sometimes we forget people are human, and so it was just it was a good game. It was a good game to watch. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not here to talk about the Super Bowl. Believe it or not, there's other things we need to talk about. So, what we're going to talk about today is the big game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think of a stadium. Think of any baseball, any football, any soccer, any tennis, any softball, any track. Any stadium you can possibly think about. I want you to think about it. And ladies and gentlemen, what is the usual shape of that stadium? And I'm not talking about necessarily the roundness, but what you notice is that there's a kind of a cone view going from top out, bottom down. Okay? And I know maybe some people have thought about this, but I was watching the game and I'm like, you know what? There's a reason why it's that shape. See, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, when you have something that's big at the top and it goes down to something small, that means there's more of something here than there is of something here, right? So we often pay attention to the athletes and we get excited and we cheer for them. We got their team colors and their team name on our shirt and we're so excited and we're like, yeah, that's my team. And they win and you cry and you hug and you make love and you make babies and, there's going to be a lot of babies in LA popping up. You get what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's a different type of baby boomer, you know what I mean? But the whole point of that, to say that, is that, ladies and gentlemen, we put our feeling of accomplishment on the back of others when we did no work. See, this is a little bit deeper than you might want to go today, but the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, the people on the field, if you notice that the cone, the shape of, let me see if I can draw it out for you real quick. Because the shape of the stadium, you always have seats here, and you have seats here, and you have the field down here, okay? This is a horrible drawing. Please ignore the man behind the mask. So you got seats and stuff here. You got seats up here. Can you see that? Here we go. Pull a little closer. Seats up here, and then the field's right down there, right? So the thing is, the reason that that's like that is because there's a whole lot more people in the stands watching than there are people on the field doing the work. Or, sorry, that did the work. There's a whole lot more people up in the stands kind of cheering you on or booing you than there are people on the field doing the actual execution to get this done. So the reason that's so important to me personally, the reason it's so important to me is for 3 reasons. One, the work. The work that is done for a person to be on that field at the bottom and to get the reward the thing is, they've all got rewarded. Obviously, one of them got the Super Bowl championship and the other one did not, but they all got rewarded. They all got paid a whole lot of money to do what they do. They're excellent at what they do, right? The work that they put in behind the scenes is showing up on the field. See, the thing is, if you don't do any work behind the scenes, if we don't do any work behind the scenes, if I don't do any work behind the scenes, then it doesn't show up on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, I was using my camera to record my videos. Like, that's what I was using. And that's okay, but now I've got a system set up. I put in the work to get what I wanted it to look like. I want it to look more professional. I want people to take me seriously. So I put in the work. I read the books to get to the place. I did the thinking to get to this place. The thought. I let things flow over me. I indulge myself in situations. So with that being said, there's a lot of work that goes into being great. I'm not great yet. I think you know what? I am great. There's no reason for me to tell myself anything else. I'm great and getting greater. But there's no reason in the world for you to sit down and not do the work, but then criticize someone who is doing the work. Like, you see people all the time talking, even 50 at the Super Bowl. Like, even I got caught up in it. But like, 50 in the Super Bowl, he was a little heavier doing them, singing upside down, go, go, go. But in all reality, ladies and gentlemen, he put in the work to be able to do that. He's been in the game for 25 years. 25 years to be able to do that song at the Super Bowl like that. And you could talk about him all day long, but how many of you guys are completely out of shape? What do you look like 20 years later? What's your career like? Are you able to go on a stage and people pay you millions of dollars just to see you? Do people pick up their cameras and just videotape you as you go along? If they do, run, because they're a stalker. But you get what I'm saying? The work is necessary if you want to be on the field. The work is not necessary to sit up in the stands. Now, the people up in the stands don't have the same view as the people on the field. The people up in the stands don't make the same money. Now, here's the difference. Let's go here. Let's go here, right? The people up in the stands have to pay to see you. The people on the field get paid just to be there. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question is, and I'm asking this question because I want you to think about your life. Like, let's just put it at your job. Does your job pay you to be there? Yes, right? But in all reality, it costs you money to go to work. It costs you money to buy your electricity, to do your cell phone, to do this, do that. But what you do should pay you. And when you get to a high enough level, ladies and gentlemen, what you love will pay you dividends to do it, instead of you paying dividends to do it. I love playing kickball. I travel all around the U.S. to play kickball, right? One day I will be paid to play kickball. As of right now, I haven't hit the level yet where I'm getting paid to do that, so I have to pay to do it. There's going to be a flip, right? So when you put that work in and people see how great you are, that's when you're paid for your work behind the scenes. That's when you're paid because they see how great you are, right? Now, the other big thing about there's work. I talked about work. There's reward. Obviously, the pay scale for somebody in the stands and somebody on the ground is completely different. Somebody in the stands is going to get paid a whole lot less than somebody on the ground because you have not yet mastered a craft that is worth enough for somebody to pay you. People are showing you your value on a daily basis. If you want to know your value, just look at your paycheck stub. That's what your value is to the workforce. The people who are on the Super Bowl have a different paycheck schedule or different pay stub. Why? Because they're worth more. They have more value. They give more value than you. You want to get paid more, put more value into yourself and put more value into the workplace. But the other thing is the cost. By being on the field, people are going to watch you. People are at home spending their hard-earned money to get food, to get the game on TV, to get electricity, just to watch you do what you do. Okay? But the thing is, now you're in the public eye, so it's going to cost you a whole lot more. People want you to fail when you're in the big game. People cheer against you. Even though you're human and even though you're doing all these great things, people are going to cheer against you just because you're in the big game. Now, the funny thing is the people up in the stands are looking down on the people here, but the people on the field, they're not looking up to judge anybody up there because they don't have time. Their vision and their reward is so solely focused on what they want that they don't have time to look up in the stands at the haters. They don't have time to look up in the stands at all the people up there cheering. They don't know your name. I guarantee you know his name, Tom Brady. How many guys like Tom Brady? When I hear that, what that tells me is like, I hate Tom Brady. Okay, cool. Tom Brady doesn't hate you. Tom Brady doesn't know who you are. Tom Brady's been hustling and grinding. He's worried about the defense that has been working hard as well to come after him. Do you know the difference between a winner of a game? See, I think the Super Bowl is a great example. When you have two teams that are very similar and two teams that are powerhouses and two teams that have been working really hard, what is the difference when they both want to win? Because there's nobody who went into the Super Bowl without wanting to win. What is the difference? The difference is execution. You got to be one, and you got to be on the execution game. You got to be mentally tough when things go bad, but you cannot be looking up in the stands like, oh, there's Peter, there's Tommy, there's Steve, there's Cynthia, there's Stephanie, there's Janet, there's blah, blah, blah. You can't focus on them, but they're focused on you. So the reason I bring this up about the big game, ladies and gentlemen, because if you want to be big, if you want to create something massive in your life, other than what you're creating now, one, you're going to have to put the work in to get to that next level. That's a big deal. Two, you're going to have to pay the cost. Because there's going to be people looking at you, trying to take you down, thinking that you're not this, thinking if you're not that, just because they are jealous of what you do. Everybody's got an opinion in the stands. You notice that? Everybody in the stand has an opinion about what's going on the field, but they had to pay to get it. That's a big deal. They're paying you to give their opinion. Take that money, baby. But if you're willing to do something big, put the work in behind the scenes. Get big behind the scenes. And as you grow, people will notice. Second thing, pay the cost. It's going to take a little bit of something, whether it be time, whether it be money, whether it be relationships. Hold on, what's the other currency? Time, relationship, money, and there's something else. Knowledge. It's going to take knowledge. You're going to grow all of those to get to that next level. And the last, when you finally do that, when you put in the work, when you pay the cost, you'll get the reward. But there's always going to be haters, ladies and gentlemen, telling you you need to take yourself down. The reason I haven't done a video on YouTube in 7 months, one, I could say is because I'm moving, but because somebody took me down a peg. Somebody said something about me, and I didn't like it because I was really trying to do something great, and they came at me, and I took it to heart, and da-da-da-da-da. But if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, there's nobody in the Super Bowl right now, or that was in the Super Bowl, that is worried about what one person says to take them down a peg, because they already know how great they are. They already know what they're worth. But anyways, I'm back. That's all that matters, right? So I want you to think about this really quick, and this is what we're going to get into. This is the last piece of this, is that there's always going to be more haters in the stands watching you from up there. And there's always more seats up top in the stands, and there are spaces on the field. That's why it comes down to this shape right here. And you're always going to have more haters in the world than there are going to be succeeders. But that shouldn't stop you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go to that big game or whatever you want to be in life, then go after it and get it. There's no reason in the world you can't have it. There's nothing in the world that says you can't do it. And I believe in 100%, as long as you're willing to put the work in, pay the cost, and get that reward, ladies and gentlemen, you can get, if youyou're looking to put the work in and pay the cost, then you can have that reward that you want. And it's yours. And don't let anybody tell you differently, because people will tell you. Your family and friends will tell you not to do it because they believe 100% that they're protecting you. But actually what they're doing is, when people are giving you their opinions about you, is they're telling you why they can't do it. It has nothing to do with you. Hey, girl, don't get into that. You can't do it. No, you can't do it. But you want me to put your limitations on me. Don't be limited, ladies and gentlemen. Limitations are one of the biggest killers. People limit themselves all the time. Put on self-shackles. Someone said I can't do it. Oh, okay, I guess I can't do it. And self-shackle themselves so they don't have any way to move. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You're not them. You're fantastic. You're amazing. You're one of the most powerful people I have ever met in my life. That's you right there. Yeah, you. And I want you to understand that all you got to do is put the work in. Pay the cost. Now, the cost might seem big now because you don't have a lot. But when you get more because you paid the cost, when your reward starts coming, you're going to realize that cost actually wasn't as much as you thought it was. In fact, it was actually minuscule. But where you're sitting at now, it seems like a lot because you haven't elevated to your next level. Right? That's all I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if you had a bad Valentine's Day, don't be bitter. That's all I got to say. I should have said that at the beginning. Don't be bitter, guys and gals. Don't be bitter. Things will get better. I promise you. But you have to make the change. Even in relationships, whatever you want, relationships, you got to put the work in. You got to pay the cost. The work is, learning your other person and communicating. The cost is getting rid of other people, women and men in your life that are trying to come at you. You're not a single person anymore, and you get the reward of the relationship. You want more money, the same thing. You want more success, the same thing. What do you want? And if you know what you want, are you willing to do what it takes? That's what I want you to know. You are the big game. People are watching you all the time, whether you know it or not. They may say something in private to other people, but guess what? You can't hear that. Pretend that you're down on the field, and there's people in the stands yelling something at you, and you don't understand exactly what they're saying. If you can't understand what they're saying, then can you hear it? And this is the last thing I'll give you real quick, and I always say that, but I do mean it this time because I got to go. I got a meeting at 12. There is a parable about a tree frog. And all his life he's been told he can't climb this tree. All the other tree frogs in the area said, you can't climb that tree. And he can't hear. He's deaf, right? So I'm probably messing with the story, but it's okay. So long story short, he climbs the tree all the way to the top. And as he's climbing, he looks down at the other tree frogs on the bottom, and they're cheering. They're saying, you can't climb that tree, But he's deaf, right? so he can't hear them. So he thinks that they're cheering him on. He decides that they're cheering him on, and he makes it to the top of the tree. You can do whatever you feel is possible if you believe that people are cheering for you. So just all the haters that are saying something, that's their way of cheering you on, right? And the last thing I want to tell you about that exact same story is that once you do it, it may never have been done before, which is why they're telling you can't do it. Once you do it, then anybody can do it. The 4-minute mile, Roger Bannister, I think his name is, he ran it. No, everybody said it couldn't be done until he broke it. As soon as he broke it, people after people after people after people started breaking it as well. Why? Because it wasn't done before. And so since it wasn't done, it was impossible. It's not impossible. It's improbable. That's a true statement. Or it's not impossible. It's actually I'm possible. It's possible for you to do it. And that's what I want you to do. Go out there and just be gorgeous, baby. Go out there and be great. You deserve it. And remember, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. There's always going to be more haters than succeeders. Be on the field, focus in. The money's on the field. The success and the fame are on the field. The greatness lies on the field. The greatness does not lie in the stands. They're crying just as much as those people down here, but there's a significant success, fame, fortune between the two because they did the work. They didn't do the work. That's all I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys got something from this. I appreciate and love each and every single one of you. I'll see you soon. I got to go catch a meeting. That's all I got. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon. By the way, the new format, if you like it, let me know. The music behind it, did it go well with the meeting? I can't hear any of it. I can hear myself talk through my mouth, but I can't hear the recordings. I can't hear the music. So if you like it, let me know. That's all I got. Talk to you soon. Bye.